Hi. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the scan first and then we'll go over the reading. The scan is gonna have some overlap with the reading. Well, they'll both overlap actually. The reading has more guidance in it, and then the scan has a little bit more of like the supplemental stuff, and I already ran the imprint for you, so you should be feeling better by now. Just to let you know, the organs that balanced, they were all stressed. They should be balanced now. The arteries and veins, which makes a lot of sense with the blood stuff, and then liver, the spleen, and the stomach. Not the spleen, I'm sorry. Sinus, sphenoid, and sinus, and then the stomach. Okay. So there definitely are, like, there's some signatures on here for bacteria and infections, which I'm sure you're being treated for by the doctors. So I won't go over that with you. I'm sure that you're getting the help you need with those areas. The seventh chakra, so the crown, was balanced, and that has to do with like universal knowing, collective consciousness, enlightenment, your connection with the divine. So a lot of the stuff that's coming up here, if you're looking at this as like an overall, like what's going on, you're receiving an upgrade. You're having a major transformation into basically deepening and enriching your life. So your life will become more fruitful and more rewarding, and you'll feel a lot more passion in life. So this is an upgrade, and it's temporary. So you can look at it like, you know, this too shall pass. So it's important for you to be able to keep that crown chakra open, because you're going to be needing to tap into it a lot. So meditation is going to be really important, and just to, well, I'll go over, I'm like afraid that I might forget to tell you. So for meditation, just as a basic understanding of the process for this particular situation, this is a lot of like family lineage stuff as well. So it's through your mother's line, so it's connected to your mom. You can think of it like you were passed a torch from your mom. You took a torch from your mom to expand in this particular area. And this particular area, she may not have fully integrated it herself. So you can think of like when we have children, at the time of the conception, whatever it is that we're going through in our life at the time, whatever state of being or state of mind that we are in, our attitude, and the things we feel empowered by and the things we feel disempowered by, our child is going to, we're like passing the torch to our child for those things. And it's meant to help us transmute these things, so that it's meant to make the transmutation or transition easier, or like it can, because it makes it so that we're seeing the quest, or we're seeing that journey from a different perspective, from an outsider's perspective. And a lot of times, like that nurturing, or like parent, child, mentor, teacher, student dynamic helps our brain to see it from a different perspective and reorient in a way that's actually going to make it easier to process the information and to essentially rise above it. We're like flowers, and so this is like you blooming, but you need some kind of material to work with to bloom, to make you bloom, to make you want to go through that process, because it's like an initiation. It's not easy. We wouldn't actively choose it because it's not easy. It's not easy to face our fears. It's not easy to feel our emotions, especially when they're strong and intense and negative. And so like we have these intense initiation processes that force us to go through it. And of course, we still have a choice, but the more we resist that experience, the harder life gets. The more like painful and the more painful it is, the harder, more energy it takes, the more roadblocks you run into. And it's meant to kind of like wear you down. It's meant to wear you out so that you stop resisting. So like you can look at anger as a good example of this. Like we usually don't get angry about something unless we've kind of hit our max. So our tolerance is out. We've like lost our tolerance for bullshit, right? And so women, our monthly cycles, we go through this because we have a lot of patience, and we think that patience means like tolerating bullshit. And so our cycles will wear us out and get us to stop tolerating bullshit and to enforce our boundaries and be more honest with ourselves and with others about our boundaries. And I just want to talk about this this thing. It's called the Let Them theory. I would look it up on YouTube. There's a free audiobook of it on YouTube, and it's the best, simplest explanation for or example of unconditional love that I've ever come across. It's life-changing. It'll be a game changer for you, and it's going to give you like really good practical advice and like nuggets of information that's going to be super easy to apply and understand. It'll make you laugh, and it's gonna just like help you live more lightheartedly, more free, and more expansive. So okay, so let's go back to meditation. So the meditation process is going to be, you're going to sit to quiet your mind, but really you're sitting to invite thoughts. So sit and invite your thoughts to surface, and those thoughts are going to be thoughts around this subject primarily, because and you may not connect the dots right away or see the pattern, but know that that's what's going on. So these thoughts that are going to surface are going to give you the opportunity to address this transformation. And your job when those thoughts arise is to soothe yourself back into alignment, back into a place that feels good. So you're pep talking yourself as if you would be pep talking yourself as a child, or your son. And your son is like representing, he's giving you this like material to work with, i.e. him, to deepen your emotional experience, to enrich your life experience. So you're going to have to go deep to connect with him, and you're going to have to go deep to relate to him in a healthy way. You're going to have to learn what that means and how to do that so that your relationship with him is going to be healthy. Like, what I mean by that is like it's going to work in your favor, and it's going to be good for him too. So it's going to be good for everyone around you and everyone around you. So your thoughts come up, you pep talk yourself through those thoughts, and then once you do that, then those thoughts aren't going to come up anymore. An alternative way, and probably a really big important way for you to approach your emotions in this is somatic work. If you've never done somatic work, basically what it is just allowing yourself to feel your emotions. And that's all your emotions want anyway. They just want to be acknowledged, they want to be felt, and then they'll go. And it takes about 90 seconds. So emotions are just like a chemical explosion in your brain that go into your body. It takes about 6 seconds for that process to happen, and then they rise and fall over the course of about 90 seconds. Now, if you don't attach to your emotions, then that process completes. If you attach to your emotions, that process keeps repeating itself. That's when you start to get like emotions that like keep coming. You keep getting overloaded by these same emotions or these same patterns or negative experiences in life, or like you can't get what you want so easily, or things don't feel good. So in somatic work, the purpose is to relax into the emotion and allow yourself to feel it and not get stuck in it. So how do you get stuck in emotions? You think about them, you reminisce numbness about them, you try to change them, you try to fix them, you resist them, you say no to them, I don't want to feel this. They are painful, but remind yourself through that process that they're only painful because you're afraid of them, and fears are not as insurmountable as they might seem. So you just remind yourself that if you can just relax into them, release the tension in your body, which is resistance, allow them to flow through your body, rise and fall, and give it that 90 seconds, you will feel instant relief after, and then the healing is taking place from there. So you'll actually you will get like downloads, inspiration, you'll start to feel good, you'll feel passionate. All this really amazing good stuff will happen, and that's when you'll realize like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. So that's the somatic process. The meditation process is the alternative, where like if it's a thought that is repetitive, it keeps coming up and like you can't quite get rid of it, that's when like you apply these other tools, which are like pep talking yourself, basically like whatever you got to do to approve of yourself, to give yourself the benefit of the doubt, soothe your way through the emotions. Like the Let Them Theory book is going to really help give you a lot of clarity around that, like around how to support yourself and how to support those around you that you really care about, and even just how to move about the world in a very lighthearted, non-attached, but deeply fulfilling and satisfying way. So check that book out. It's going to help you learn how to pep talk yourself through these emotions that come up while you're in meditation and the thoughts that surface. And then that's it. Like you do that as like a daily mental hygiene. Do it in the morning, do it in the evening. If you only can do it for 5 minutes, that's fine. The point is to empty your brain of those thoughts, sort of like getting all the plaque off your teeth, you know. And some of us don't meditate regularly enough, most of us don't, to where like that process is basically going to be just emptying thoughts over and over and over and over again. But eventually, the point is your thoughts will slow down, you will have fewer thoughts, and you will be more present. So this is also a big part of this process, like being more present. It's going to help you learn what that means and how to do that. And when your thoughts slow down, you are more connected to yourself and you have more intuitive hits. So you have stronger psychic abilities, and then more clarity, and then like the right timing, you meet the right people, you have the right thing to say in the right moment. You have this really strong, healthy connection with yourself that makes it so that everything is just easier. It's just easier, it's smoother, it flows more naturally. You know what to say, you uplift others without any effort. You just like, it naturally comes to you how to do that. You don't have to try or think about it or anything. Okay, so let's get into some more of this. Okay. Really, honestly, there's not a whole lot of supplements that are coming up as a recommendation. You probably have all the things you need, but just some things that really stood out to me are like dopamine. So we'll talk about dopamine for a minute, because there were several things that showed up around that. And the dopamine is basically what makes it so that you're able to focus and like you experience the pleasure, reward, motivation thing. So people who have ADD need dopamine, and that's because they're being pulled in two different directions, like you are right now. Like you need yourself, and also your baby needs you, and you're trying to figure out how to balance that. And so you can get saffron. Saffron is a really great supplement for dopamine. And then the process from there is learning how to ask for help and learning the value of that and what that looks like. And so to start, attraction has nothing to do with anything that you are. It's not beauty, it's not being strong and independent, it's not your accomplishments, it's not how smart you are, how nice you are, how emotional or not emotional you are. Like, excuse me, it has nothing to do with any of that stuff. Attraction has to do with one thing and one thing only, and that is your willingness to approve of yourself. Essentially, like, no matter what, you approve of yourself. And that can look like a lot of different things, so I'll just give you some examples. But like, it looks like you being able to ask for what you want, even if you don't need it, and even if you can do it yourself. And being willing to accept a no if that's what you get, and still find another way to meet your needs, whether it be from yourself or from somebody else. And the strength and independence that you've cultivated within yourself, that only comes into play when, as like a backup plan. Think of it as like a backup plan, you know? And you want to create space in your life for people to show up for you, because we all, like, our purpose in life is to seek joy, and through seeking joy we expand the universe, which is the purpose of the universe, to expand. And so we need stuff to be passionate about, we need to feel inspired, and we need to follow our bliss. And when we're in relationships, or in our relationships, the other person needs to feel passion and inspiration within that relationship. They need to feel that there is space for them, and that like, it gives them purpose. To create, to ask for something from them gives them purpose in your relationship, gives them something to be inspired by, right? And so you, instead of doing everything yourself, notice or realize, acknowledge that allowing other people to step up for you is actually really loving and kind for them. So it's just shifting the way that you think about love and like giving and receiving love, and knowing that it's actually really attractive to ask for things, because when you ask for things, people go, oh, well, she deserves that, and she knows she deserves that. That's really attractive. Like, everybody wants to be able to do that. So when you can do that for yourself, you're setting a good example for others to be able to do that for themselves as well. So what's the other thing I wanted to mention about that? Confidence. So this is going to come up in your reading probably, I think, if I remember right. Confidence is attractive, and confidence is easier than you might think. Everybody's walking around this planet kind of insecure, and they're skeptical, and they're looking for other people who are not skeptical and who are confident, so that they can so they can give themselves permission to do the same. And so essentially, like, if you want to be strong and independent, that's your strength. That's where your strength and independence really is valuable. Is like showing other people, not that you can do it all yourself, but that you're willing to ask, because you know you're worthy of being loved. You know you're worthy of receiving love. And that you know that you're worthy of that simply by existing. Like, your existence makes you inherently worthy. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to do anything to be worthy. You don't need to be anything to be worthy. Your existence is enough. And so one of the mantras you might tell yourself through this, as you're like working through your emotions and trying to face your fears and trying to allow others to show up for you, is I am enough. So even if I'm having a lot of emotions right now and I can't show up for my baby, I'm still enough. Even though I need to ask for help right now, I'm still enough. Even though I'm an angry bitch, I'm still enough. And it is safe for me to be an angry bitch right now, because, you know, that's my soul, like, calling for alignment for me. That's my soul saying like my boundaries are being crossed. I'm not honoring my boundaries and I need to honor my boundaries. So it's safe for me to communicate my needs because those are my boundaries. That's where people know what my boundaries are, and it's safe for me to honor and respect those and require others to honor and respect those and feel confident and convicted in my confidence that I deserve those things, that I deserve to do that, and all of that. Like if someone doesn't like it, I'm still enough. If someone doesn't like me, I'm still enough. It's safe to be me. So it's like giving yourself permission to be you, and like approving of yourself, giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, not being a dick to yourself, not bullying yourself, like being nice to yourself, being good to yourself. All right, so that's what all of this stuff is. And again, like the let them theory is going to help you to find balance between doing that for yourself and doing that for others, i.e. your baby. And so really a lot of this, what's going on, like the, let me just switch to the reading, the hypotension, shock, and the bleeding, those are all like, it's your transformation. It's you upgrading into like, it's finding harmony and balance between your own self and you as a mother, like recognizing that you are you, you're not just a mother, and that like your number one goal is to take care of yourself first. And I'll give you a little tip. I haven't had children, so take everything what I say. If it works for you, take it. If it doesn't, just throw it aside. But one of the things that I know about narcissism that is a really like interesting and important piece of information that I feel like everybody should know is that babies from the age of 0 to 3 need emotional attunement, and that comes with like eye contact and like holding the baby close. And when a baby doesn't receive that, they aren't able to get this understanding of their worth, and they don't like develop that sense of worth. And so they kind of, and there's varying degrees of that and extremes of that, but they can go through life kind of playing out that scenario over and over and over again until they're validated. And the work really is in validating themselves once they become an adult, but it's hard to do that without a sense of worth. And so the reason I'm telling you this is not to scare you, but to really give you that confidence that like one of the most important things your baby is going to need from you is just eye contact and like seeing you smile at him. And so don't think that you're not doing enough and that like you got to do all these hard things. Know that like sometimes it's just like simple stuff like that to that like gives your child the best circumstances and like start in life, right? So a really simple, easy thing, just to kind of remind yourself to do once in a while, to acknowledge that like sometimes that's all your baby needs. Sometimes all your baby needs is just to be touched, right? And you can communicate with your baby too, and just be like, I'm here for you, but also like I need me right now, and so it's not that I don't love you, but like I just need me right now, things like that. Okay, let's go back to, hopefully I'm not forgetting to complete any of those thoughts. It can kind of get all over the place because I have so much information to pass on that it gets a little bit like big. But anyway, let me know if there's any questions or like if there was anything that I didn't finish, any thoughts I didn't finish. Okay, so vitamin K, of course, is showing up. That's a blood coagulator. So it makes sense. If you're taking vitamin K, just remember drink extra water because it is coagulating your blood, and that will help like to prevent kidney stones and also keep with healthy blood flow. Red clover is a really amazing supplement. I highly recommend it. Again, with all these supplements, make sure you talk to your doctor. Make sure that you check for contraindications with whatever medications you're taking, because I'm not a doctor. It's not my job to like know all those things. All I'm telling you is what your body is choosing for you. So your body chose these things, but you got to do the extra work to, make sure that you're safe taking them. But anyway, red clover is a very common supplement that is recommended for women with PMS symptoms and hormone stuff going on. And it's kind of a multi-nutrient, and it has a lot of vitamin K in it. And I love it. And it's also good for like estrogen production. So you might look into that one. It's a really nice supplement that will help you feel like immediate relief. That's one of my favorite reasons why I love that. I love that supplement. Chlorella is one that showed up for you as well. It's also a multi-nutrient, and it has B vitamins in it, magnesium, and it's really great for hormones as well as weight loss and immune system building, and a good detox for heavy metals. If you're going to take that, well, actually, one of the other things I wanted to mention is like if you're feeling depressed, one of the things I would recommend is a B vitamin, especially one with B12, preferably one that's pre-methylized, so methylcobalamin B12, and MTHFR, because that is a common thing. Like postpartum depression is typically a depletion of B12 or like B vitamins. So that can help with the depression. Okay, so then there is the left knee. That was the left knee chakra, the secondary chakra. It says it deals with your drive to move forward in life, and where there are issues relating to a male, probably within the last 3 months. So something to think about for that. As you know, the left side is related to your feminine side. Alpha lipoic acid showed up. Usually when that shows up, it's like you're resisting taking in the sweetness of life because you're feeling like you need to kind of be on guard to defend yourself, just in case you need to defend yourself, not because you actually need to. And so any sugar that you might be consuming might not be, your body might not even be receiving it. And so if like you can eat sugar, you might be craving sugar or something sweet, and so then you, or even just like craving glucose, but instead of your body receiving it, it'll go like into your lymphatic system and you'll pee it out. And so then that creates the sugar craving because you're not actually getting the sugar, because your body is like, no, I can't have the sweetness of life right now. I gotta defend myself just in case there's something that's gonna attack me. So in those moments, if you do experience sweet cravings or like glucose cravings, just in the moments that you're experiencing them, like if you're eating a piece of chocolate, for example, to soothe this, just do it mindfully and do it while like relaxing your body to release resistance, and by telling yourself like, I am safe, and like it is safe for me to feel supported. It is safe for me to ask for support. It is safe for me to feel emotions, whatever it is that's coming up. Like tell yourself that mantra, and I'm still enough. Even if I'm feeling this, I'm still enough. Or even if XYZ, right? And then your 8th chakra was balanced, which is connected to your first meridian. So choline and inositol are really great for brain function, metabolizing fats, improving mood, reducing stress and anxiety, memory retention, nervous system support, heart health. And I really love the combination of those two in one supplement. It just it's one of those that you really feel like instant results from. So I do recommend that one. It's not high. None of the ones I've mentioned so far have been high except the dopamine. So it's just like use it as as needed. Olive leaf is a good supplement for blood flow, immune system strengthening, inflammation reduction, toxin removal. So it's good for like the bacteria, fungus, virus, that kind of stuff. Again, well, on this one it's energetic and physical, so it's higher in priority, probably because you have some infections and stuff. But again, you probably are already receiving support from your doctors for that, so it's up to you if you want to add some additional natural support. Omega-3, and then it's like a complete omega. Omega is showing up, and it's going to be really good for like brain function as well as hormones and cholesterol levels. So cholesterol is a sign of too much stress, too much cortisol. So it can really help with the stress as well. And then of course, like your sacral chakra was balanced, which is the womb area, so that makes a lot of sense. Some histamine stuff has shown up, which is like, you can think of that energetically as like something in your environment that you're allergic to. You're basically saying having a conflict with, like you want, and also at the same time you don't want or you're afraid of or something. There's something about it that you're resisting. So a lot of this work is like finding a way to harmonize internal conflict, conflicting desires, or a desire that has a fear that's strong. And then your throat chakra is something within the last 6 days triggered that, and it's more physical in nature. So like a thyroid voice, parathyroid glands, vocal cords, jaw, throat, stiff neck, cold, tinnitus, asthma, probably asthma. And then what else? There were a couple emotions on here. Just looking for where they went. By the way, if you're having digestion issues, hydrangeas, that's digestive supplement that your body picked, and then cat's claw is good for immune system. But they're energetic, so you don't need to worry about them unless you want some support in those areas. Also some like vision stuff. Okay, here's the emotion. Here's one of the emotions. You're afraid to open up towards others. You find it hard to judge. You find it hard to judge yourself and others correctly. You stick with yourself instead of opening up. A positive sentence to help solve this conflict is I open up to other people because I can benefit from it and thus enrich my life. So again, like the let them theory is going to help you a lot with that one. And then where'd you go? There you are. Southern Cross is this mental and emotional signature. It's a flower. What it says is, people who are recommended this item, they can't understand or empathize with the difficulties of others, or they may think life is so beautiful, so wonderful. Why do people have to be so negative and agitate for this and that? However, the time comes when the advantages are taken out of their life and a reversal takes place. They find themselves in a position where they have to fend for their reputation, economic, emotional, or physical survival. The healing properties of this flower open their minds to see outside their own lifestyle or situation. They become in touch with the problems and difficulties facing others. If they take this flower essence after the advantages are removed from their life, it allows them to laugh at themselves and to see why they have been put in that position, and how it was important for them to become far more in touch with the way life really works. So I gave you that imprint, and just know that this has a lot to do with your soul's calling. Your soul is ready for you to deepen your life experience, and it's probably that time anyway. Like, it usually comes around this time in your life, late 30s, mid 30s, 40s, midlife kind of thing. Sorry, how old are you? 8. Okay, so you're, wow. Yeah, you're 34, 35. So you're kind of early in this game. But anyway, so that's just part of where you're at right now in life. This is the phase you're going through, and it's temporary. It's just an initiation process, an upgrade. So I asked the tarot, and here's what it said. So for the bleeding, it represents an energetic release of deep-seated fears, suppressed emotions, and exhaustion from carrying emotional burdens for too long. It may be linked to subconscious fears about safety, worthiness, or being enough as a mother. So as you're going through all this, remind yourself, like, I am still enough. It is safe for me to, X, Y, Z. Those are your mantras. And then the shock represents an abrupt and jarring shift in your reality, forcing you to surrender when you're already on the edge of depletion. The experience may stem from an internal struggle between the idealized image of motherhood versus the raw, painful reality you faced. And then what you need to know about this experience is meant to shake you into deep self-awareness. It's a forced transformation, one that requires you to rebuild yourself from a new place of wisdom, strength, and clarity. There's going to be a lot of like softening things, slowing down, being more present, more accepting and allowing, flowing more with the universe. And I just got through all of this, so call on me. I have a lot of really amazing tools to help you with that. And then I asked what your body wants you to know, and it says your healing depends on balancing action with surrender. You cannot force yourself to feel normal again. You must trust your inner wisdom and allow healing to unfold at its own pace. And then I asked how you can best support yourself. It says you need to prioritize yourself right now. You must set boundaries, allow yourself to receive support, and work through any guilt or limiting beliefs about what it means to be a good mother. What your baby wishes for you to know is that this transformation is not an ending. You're not losing yourself, you are evolving. There's no need for conflict or guilt. You don't need to fight against what happened. You just need to accept and heal. You may feel stuck in a cycle of trauma, but this is temporary. You're not doomed to repeat this struggle. So in summary, he wants you to know to release guilt and self-blame, and to know, he needs you to know that this experience doesn't define you and that you are capable of healing and growing from it. I asked how you can support your baby, how you can best support your baby. It says you must drop the pressure to be perfect and allow yourself to feel your emotions without judgment. Your baby will learn that it's safe to do that if you can model that. It says that you may feel emotionally numb or detached right now. You need to be patient with yourself and not force emotions that you're not ready for. And then you may be feeling emotionally numb or detached. You need to be patient with yourself and not force. Oh, sorry, I read that one already. This is a process. You're planting seeds of love and healing, and with time you will feel more connected. So the basic advice on that is you need to be patient with yourself as you bond with your baby. You don't need to feel an instant deep connection. Love grows over time, and you must let go of unrealistic expectations and allow your relationship with him to unfold naturally. So this was an initiation into a new version of yourself. It was painful and traumatic, but it's also an opportunity for deep transformation. You're not broken, you're becoming. Your body, your baby, and your soul all ask you to trust the process, release guilt, and allow yourself to receive support without judgment. You're a mother, but you're also still your own person, and honoring that will be the key to healing. And then I asked if there was a cord that showed up, like an energetic imbalanced cord. Usually, like if we have a healthy cord connection, it's like heart to heart, for example. If it's unhealthy, it could be like heart to root, or like solar plexus to root or heart or something. So this is an imbalanced one. It actually is not with your baby. Says that you may unconsciously feel a loss of independence and self-sufficiency due to the new bond. This could manifest as overwhelming responsibility, feeling emotionally or energetically drained, or struggling with the subconscious belief that you're not fully whole without giving everything to your child. This imbalance could stem from feeling like you must sacrifice too much of yourself for the baby, a sense of guilt or fear of not being enough as a mother, or your baby energetically absorbing your trauma and emotions, which creates a loop of imbalance. However, this could also suggest that the cord exists outside of the mother-baby dynamic, but it's affecting your ability to bond and feel stable. So you need to clear the cord with the other unhealthy attachments, so that it can strengthen or stabilize the bond you have with your child, with your baby. And then this has a cord cutting ritual in it, so I'll send you the link to it and you can read through the details. But I asked who is it with, if it was with your husband. It said yes, but it may not be the primary one. Rather, it's a symptom of deeper exhaustion or emotional misalignment in the relationship. And then I asked if it was your mother. It said yes. You may have an energetic dependency on your mother's validation or approval. There's a possible history of fast, overwhelming communication or influence. You may be unconsciously holding on to your mother's expectations, beliefs, or fears about what it means to be a mother herself, yourself. Herself, sorry. So like working through that, through your relationship with your mom, is going to help you be a better mom, be the mom that you wish you had. Not that the mom you had wasn't enough, but like there's some healing that needs to take place in that, and it has to do with depth of emotion and emotional vulnerability, and that being safe. And like remember that emotional attunement thing. Okay, and then I asked if it was ancestral or lineage related, which it is. It says there seems to be generational wound related to loss, sacrifice, and emotional pain around motherhood. Could be someone who experienced traumatic birth, loss of a child, or neglect from family. History of women in lineage sacrificing too much for others and losing themselves in the process. And a pattern of loneliness or isolation in motherhood that has echoed through generations. So it could be like not talking to you. I don't know exactly how this shows up for you, but let's say you're like, no, what this is all telling me is that you don't really sacrifice yourself for other people in this more common way that women do, or that mothers do, that you kind of have this, like you really do take care of yourself and prioritize yourself. And it might be that you do that because when your mother conceived you, she had this strong desire for that and a need for that. And so it created this, she sort of like passed the torch to you from there. And you are meant to complete that process. So the balancing item isn't to just prioritize yourself. It's about balancing, prioritizing yourself and the care of others around you. Having a healthy and harmonious give and take. And that's that Let Them Theory book. So the strongest is with the ancestral connection. Second is with your mother, and then third is with your husband. And then there's ancestral healing work in here, releasing parenting conditioning, some affirmations around that, and some like intuitive work for you, and then some guidance on rebalancing with your husband. So it says you're breaking cycles. The pain, trauma, and struggles you faced during birth is not just your own. They're part of something larger, something ancestral. Healing is, this will not only free you, but also free your baby from carrying the same weight forward. And then I asked what would inspire you, because what inspires you and what are you most passionate about, because this is really going to help keep your alignment with yourself balanced throughout this process. And it basically says, like, I really feel like you need to get on TikTok. I'm going to read this in depth, and this will be the last thing before I send over the recording and your reading. TikTok's going to be your best friend if you aren't already using it. Ask me for help if you want help with it, because it's such a game changer, and it'll help monetize your life. But it says right now you may be struggling to connect with your passions due to exhaustion, burnout, or feeling stuck. You have big dreams and an adventurous spirit, but that feels blocked from express fully right now due to the trauma, motherhood, and lack of energy. And then you might be restless and depleted, needing recovery before you can fully engage with what inspires you. But where your inspiration and passion lie typically are, you thrive on momentum, learning, and seeing results quickly. Mastery, skill building, dedication. You love deep work, honoring your skills, and seeing your efforts pay off. So like the Let Them Theory is really going to be amazing for you right now, reading that book or listening to it. And then this gets further. Practical ways you can reignite your passion based on your current life situation. You may feel inspired by writing, sharing your experiences, or connecting with others through storytelling, TikTok. You can start journaling. Start a journaling practice to process your experience. You may also enjoy blogging or social media storytelling to share your journey with other mothers. Learning a new skill, so you might feel passionate about mastering something new, something that challenges your mind but also provides structure. So this could be like gentle self-improvement through something like postpartum yoga, breath work, or even creative crafting like painting, embroidery, or baking. These allow you to focus and see tangible progress, and you can do posts about all of that stuff on TikTok. And then helping others through your experience. You may feel passionate about supporting other women who have gone through similar birth trauma or postpartum challenges. So you could join a support group, start a podcast, or eventually become a mentor or doula for new mothers. Or you could just go on TikTok. Physical movement for energy and inspiration. So this looks like, so you have a lot of stagnant fire energy that wants to move but doesn't know how. So you could do like dancing, walking outdoors, or even a slow return to physical movement like stretching, intuitive movement, postpartum workouts to reignite your energy and passion. And then deep connection and intellectual stimulation. So you might crave meaningful conversations, deep learning, and engaging with ideas that excite you. So a practical idea would be like listening to inspiring podcasts or reading books on topics that fascinate you, whether it's spirituality, psychology, or motherhood. That could be low energy but fulfilling, and fulfilling a way to reconnect with yourself. And then, like, final insight on this is that you're inspired by movement, learning, and mastery, but right now you feel blocked and drained. So to rekindle your passion, you need gentle, structured engagement with something that makes you feel accomplished while allowing you to process your emotions. Small, consistent steps towards something meaningful will help you rebuild your confidence, energy, and excitement towards for life again. Okay, so hopefully that was all helpful, and I was able to complete all of my thoughts. But if there's any dead ends or loose ends that I left out, let me know. And let me know how things are going for you with all of this, how it lands. I'd love to hear your journey and how your process is going, and I'm here to support you further. So anything that comes up, feel free to reach out however it makes sense for you, and we'll talk to you soon.